All right, the last thing that I want to show is kind of what I see as areas of improvement when it comes to the Supernote app and the experience. One thing that I think that Supernote really needs to get right or to change is the interface with the cloud versus the mobile and desktop apps. And I think that's just part of their growth. And I know they're a small development team. I've talked to them about this. I think that they're working on it. They have been really focused on developing this desktop experience as well as the mobile experience. Unfortunately, I think the issue is that the cloud interface is still very clunky and very much, you have to select a box and then go through each individual thing, renaming, copying, moving. It always defaults to the root directory if you're trying to move something. Whereas here, you get a mirrored experience for the desktop app, the mobile app, and the device. So if I'm here and I want to move this folder, I can drop it and drag it into another folder. I can right click on it and delete it or rename it. I can add a new folder very fast. I can search very quickly. I can change the look and feel. You can do that over here as well, but again, it's not as seamless. I just double click into the files. And then, like for example, if I wanted to move this, it has presence. So it knows it doesn't jump me back to the root file directory. So let's cancel this and I'll show you what I mean. Let's say I wanted to move this folder. If I hit move to, it's going to take me back to the root directory and I'm going to have to go through and find everything and move it there. So there's no drop and drag feature. There's no knowing that I'm in this folder and I may want to just move it into testing environment or I may want to move it one level up. No, I have to go through all that scaffolding to be able to make that work. And I think that once Supernote gets this interface replicated on the web interface for the cloud app, along with what you currently have, which is this integration with the local file storage, you could really have something powerful. Alternatively, there could be a scenario like what you have with Obsidian, and I think that may be where they might be heading, to where the cloud interface itself goes away. I don't know that that's going to happen. I think they're going more the Google Drive model and the OneDrive model, where you have some type of cloud interface, and then you have the apps and the local storage where you can download that to your local device. But they could, if they wanted to, go the Obsidian Sync route to where everything is end to end encrypted from device to device to device. And that would be an interesting model for one of these devices to use because then you're not dependent on a web app. I mean, you still have that sync happening in the background, but what you don't have is problems with the interface looking different and you're not supporting so many multiple things. I think that's one real growth area that they need to consider is how they deal with this interface because it is clunky, it is hard to manage. It's much easier to manage through the desktop or through, quite frankly, Windows Explorer. To me, that is genius. Being able to manage my files this way and then just sync and then have them available for viewing with the desktop app, that is just awesome. Being able to do that and just pull this up and have it available is tremendous. And I think that's one of those things. And then to have the links be able to work as well is really cool because within this app, you can then click and it's going to find that link to something else. It's really, really neat. And I think that's where they are headed long term. That functionality is probably never going to exist here in on the right hand side. If you could at least minimize the friction of doing simple tasks like renaming files or moving files or drop and drag uploads, things of that nature, I think it would at least make them somewhat comparable. And then when you need to switch from one to the other, and that would make more sense. Anyway, that is it for our demo.